Lillahi ta'ala, correct your intentions. Today, inshallah, we're going to start a new text. We have here Matnu Aqidati al-Ghazali, the text of the Creed of al-Ghazali. Shaykh Abi Hamid Muhammad ibn Muhammad al-Ghazali, by Shaykh Abu Muhammad al-Ghazali. Al-Ghazali, very famous scholar of Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah. He is a high-ranking Ash'ari and also a high-ranking Shafi'i. Rahimahullah, he was not amongst the Hadith scholars. And he has this Aqidah here. That's a small one. So, as you can see here, only 8 pages. And this is just a booklet. Oh, but he has some nice words, though. So, I ask Allah to make this easy for me and for you. And I now embark on the challenge of translating this text of Al-Ghazali. Allahumma yassir wa la tu'assir. I ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for the success. Ameen. And so, without further ado, the author says, may Allah have mercy upon him, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahil Mubdi'il Mu'id. Praise is due to Allah. Al-Mubdi' Al-Mu'id. Al-Mubdi'. That's one of his 99 names. It means the one who starts the creation. And Al-Mu'id is also one of his 99 names. It means the one who restores the creation on Resurrection Day. Alhamdulillahil Mubdi'il Mu'id. Praise be to Allah. One might say, praise be to Allah, the starter and the restorer. Al-Fa'ali lima yurid. The doer of what he wills. Fa'al, as you know, that's emphatic form of fa'il. Fa'il means doer. Fa'al means one who does a lot or one who does frequently. He is the doer, the frequent doer, or the one who does a lot of what he wills. Yani, all that he wills to be shall be. He is the doer of what he wills. And Al-Ghazali, he's an Ash'ari. So the doer here refers to the one who has power, according to the Ash'aris. The doer is the one who has power. Al-Fa'ali lima yurid. As opposed to the Maturidis, who remembers, who can tell me? According to the Maturidis, the doer is the one who what? I just told you. According to the Ash'aris, the doer is the one who has power. According to the Maturidis, the doer is the one who what? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You said has power in eternity? No, I just said, according to the Ash'aris, the doer is the one who has power. Yeah, and it's going to mean in eternity. According to the Maturidis, the doer is the one who has a doing. The doer is the one who has a doing in eternity. He has an attribute in eternity called doing. According to the Ash'aris, the doer is the one who has an attribute called power. We talk about Allah here. According to the Ash'aris, the doer when they say Allah is a doer, they mean one who has power. According to the Maturidis, when they say Allah is a doer, they mean the one who has a doing. Those are two different meanings. So Al-Ghazali, he's an Ash'ari. Al-Fa'ali lima yurid. The doer, yani the one who has power to do what he wills. So the power of Allah is his attribute by which he brings things into existence from nothingness, and his will is his attribute by which he makes something one way or another. Whatever his power is related to, his will is related to. Whatever his will is related to, his power is related to. He is the doer, yani he is the one who has power over whatever he wills. Dhil Arshil Majid. Dhil Arsh. The means the one who has, the one who possesses. Possessor of the Arsh, owner of the Arsh. You know the Arsh, the ceiling of paradise, the largest of creations. Possessor of the Arsh, the Al-Majid, the noble Arsh. The noble Arsh, Al-Arsh al-Majid. And it's possible that Al-Majid is Allah himself. This description, Al-Majid, is valid to refer to the Arsh, and is valid to refer to Allah Ta'ala himself. The here means the one who has, the one who possesses in this case. That's Allah Ta'ala. He is Al-Majid. That's one of his 99 names, Al-Majid. And the Arsh is described in the Quran as Majid. So, the Al-Arsh al-Majid, the possessor of the great Arsh, the noble Arsh. Or, if Majid refers to Allah, the noble possessor of the Arsh. Wal-Batsh Shadid. And the one attributed with severe punishment or punishing. Al-Batsh, the Batsh of Allah Ta'ala is his punishing. The original meaning of Batsh in Arabic language is to do something with the hand, and could mean to snatch. Yani, that's an action with the hand, but a strong one. Snatching. Snatching is a strong action with the hand, a forceful one. And when attributed to Allah Ta'ala, then it means punishing. Wal-Batsh Shadid, the one attributed with the severe punishing. Al-Hadi Safwat al-Abid ila al-Manhaj al-Rashid ila al-Manhaj al-Rashid wal-Maslak al-Sadid. You see how he's rhyming here, right? That's called in Arabic Saja. Saja. Rhymed prose. Prose means not poetry. It's not poetry, yet it rhymes. Alhamdulillahi al-Mubdi'i al-Mu'id al-Fa'ali lima yurid ذي العرش المجيد والبطش الشديد الهادي صفوة العبيد إلى المنهج الرشيد والمسلك السديد. And he goes on with more. We're here. Al-Hadi Safwat al-Abid. The guide of the pure slaves, the sincere slaves, to the guided way and the correct path. Al-Manhaj al-Rashid, the guided way. The manhaj is the way, and al-Rashid is guided. And maslak is a path, which means a way. And sadid means correct. Al-Hadi Safwat al-Abid ila al-Manhaj al-Rashid wal-Maslak al-Sadid. But I don't know why he uh, referred to the slaves here as Safwa, the pure slaves. So I don't have explanation for that there. Al-Hadi Safwat al-Abidi ila al-Manhaj al-Rashid wal-Maslak al-Sadid. The guider of the pure slaves to the guided way and the right path, the correct path. المنعم عليهم بعد شهادة التوحيد بحراسة عقائدهم عن ظلمات التشكيك والترديد. يعني this paragraph here is يعني it is aqidah, but it's also like introduction. This is how the scholars start their works. This style of praising Allah with words of saja and also lofty sentences. Lofty, I mean, not basic, very, very rudimentary, elementary sentences, rather sentences that are strong. But alhamdulillah, yani al-Ghazali, if he wanted to, he could make these words like, I cannot understand them. But alhamdulillah, he didn't do that. المنعم عليهم بعد شهادة التوحيد بحراسة عقائدهم عن ظلمات التشكيك والترديد. The endower upon them. المنعم عليهم, the endower upon them. After the testimony of the monotheism, he is the endower upon them after the after the establishment of their monotheism, after the confirmation of their monotheism. He endows upon them by uh, guarding their creeds. Unless Allah willed for a person not to be protected there, then his heart will waver. بحراسة عقائدهم عن ظلمات التشكيك والترديد. Guarding, that means protecting their creeds. Protecting their creeds عن ظلمات التشكيك والترديد, from the darknesses of tashkik and tardid. Tashkik, it means causing doubt. Yani, he guards their creeds from the darknesses of what causes doubt at tashkik. The shak itself is the doubt. Shak. Tashkik is the causing of shak. You would say, shakakahu fashakka. He made him doubt. Shakakahu. Tashkikan. He made him doubt. Fashakka shakka. So he doubted. What tardid, and what causes hesitation? By protecting their creeds from the darknesses of what causes doubt and what causes hesitation, which is obligatory on a person to learn enough knowledge that he can withstand tashkik and tardid. That's obligatory. If a person doesn't have enough knowledge, then even if he's a believer, but he doesn't have enough knowledge, he has gaps in his knowledge, then he might be subject to some tashkik, and he would have shak. Something would throw doubt into his heart, and so he would doubt. Or yani would be uh, what causes doubt, and then he would actually doubt. The strong believer, there is not something that causes doubt for him. We talk about in the fundamentals of creed here. So, how did Al-Ghazali describe Allah so far? He described him as Mubdi and Mu'eed, starter and restorer, and Al-Fa'ali lima yurid, and doer, and Dhil Arsh al-Majid, and possessor of the Arsh, Wal-Batshi Shadid, possessor of the Arsh and of torturing, and Al-Hadi, guider, guider of his slaves to the right way, and Al-Mun'im, endower, endower upon them. And then he continues, As-saliki bihim ila ittiba'i rasulihi al-Mustafa, the one who makes them take a path, the one who makes his slaves take a path to following his selected messenger, or his messenger al-Mustafa. He makes them take a path to following his messenger al-Mustafa. So al-Mustafa, that's one of the names of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. If you want to treat this as actually a name, a moniker, then you'd say his messenger al-Mustafa. But Mustafa means in the Arabic language the selected one. So if you want to treat it like it's a description, then إلى اتباع رسوله المصطفى, the one who guides them to, or who makes them take a path to following his selected messenger. وقتفاء آثار صحبه الأكرمين المكرمين or المكرمين بالتأييد والتسديد. The one who makes them take a path to follow his messenger and to uh, track the traces. That also means follow. So one of the things that's here in this metin is that Al-Ghazali says same thing twice with different words in different spots. إلى اتباع رسوله واقتفاء آثار صحبه. So he said it in different words, but I could translate it in English the same way. To following his selected messenger and following the traces of his companions, his noble companions. Or I could put maybe some more effort and try to find two different words in English that mean the same thing, like he used two different words in Arabic that mean the same thing. السالك بهم إلى اتباع رسوله المصطفى, the one who makes them take a path to following his selected messenger, وقتفاء آثار صحبه, and he makes them take a path to tracking the traces of his noble companions, the Prophet's noble companions. وقتفاء آثار صحبه الأكرمين المكرمين or المكرمين. You can read it two ways. You can read it المكرمين or شدة المكرمين بالتأييد والتسديد, by support, by a ta'yid, supporting them, والتسديد, and making them right, making them right, making them correct. المتجلي لهم في ذاته وأفعاله بمحاسن أوصافه التي لا يدركها إلا من ألقى السمع وهو شهيد. The one who, so I'm going to translate it literally, try to attempt to say to you what he's saying. The one who appears to them in his self and his doings by, yani, not by some physical picture, not by a, a shape or form, rather bimahasini awsafihi, by the perfection of his attributes. Means the one who is clearly known to his slaves by his attributes, by the perfection of his attributes. That's how they know that. They don't know Allah by a comparison. They know Allah by his doings and his attributes. المتجلي لهم في ذاته وأفعاله بمحاسن أوصافه. So that's one of those lofty sentences there, amongst others. So, as if it says, the one who appears to them, but doesn't mean he has an image, means the one that they know him, actually, in reality. This one who is real, and his slaves, they know him. They don't have a delusion about him. So, it looks like he's saying, he appears to them in himself, في ذاته وأفعاله, in himself and his doings. But for the people of monotheism who know that Allah is not a body or a shape or a form, then they understand. He's not saying that Allah has a picture. Rather, he, according to Al-Ghazali's words here, Al-Mutajalli lahum bimahasini awsafihi. He, so one might say, he appears to them by the perfection of his attributes. التي لا يدركها إلا من ألقى السمع وهو شهيد. Those attributes that are not realized but by someone who listened attentively and objectively, and his heart was present. المعرف إياهم أنه في ذاته واحد لا شريك له. The one who made them know, who made it familiar to them, one might even say, who introduced them to that he is in his self one, or that he is in his being, that means in his existence, one, la sharika lah, without a partner, fardun la mathila lah, unique, without a similar. So those means almost exactly the same thing. Wahidun la sharika lah, fardun la mathila lah. So fard here means wahid. La sharika lah, he has no partner. La mathila lah, he has no similar. Samadun la ضد له, munfaridun la nidda lah. He's samad means he is the independent God, without an opposition, without any opposition. Samadun. So samad means qayyum, qayyumun ghani, qayyumun ghani. Qayyum here means doesn't need anything. Ghani means doesn't need anything. That's the meaning of Samad. He doesn't need anything. And Samad in Arabic language also has the meaning of, yani it includes the meaning of this one, the one who's described as a Samad. It has the meaning that he's a master. Someone who's a Samad, he's a Sayyid. He is a master. So Samadun la Widdalah. So you already know so many Arabic words really, one English word does not carry them. The Samad, he's the master, and he's the one who's needed by others. And for Allah, still means master. It still means one who's needed by others. But for him, uniquely means the one that everyone needs him and he doesn't need anything. And when I tried to reduce that into just few words, like to try to complement uh, the text with a translation, I said independent God. La ضد له, without opposition. Without opposition means without a similar. But not just without a similar, it means without a similar who is contrary to him. The ضد is the mithal, the similar. But also who is contrary to his counterpart. So because Allah doesn't have a counterpart, so He doesn't have an opposition. Munfaridun la niddalah, and singular. That means one, without a contender. So similar to the previous word. Like Allah says, فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا. Do not make contenders for Allah. The andad, what I'm translating as contenders, refers to the idols. Do not make contenders for Allah means don't worship idols instead of Allah. Yani, as if to say, don't make the idols contenders for God. Munfaridun la niddalah. So singular without a contender. وأنه واحد قديم لا أول له. And that he is one. Here. And that he is. Where'd that come from? And that he is. That goes back to here. أنه here. So Al-Ghazali said, Al-Mu'arrifi iyahum, the one who made them know, the one who made them familiar, or the one who introduced them to that he is one. He is in the self one without a partner, unique without a similar, independent God without an opposer, singular without a contender, and that he is one. He said here, وَأَنَّهُ وَاحِدٌ. Said up here, وَأَنَّهُ فِي ذَاتِهِ وَاحِدٌ. And that he is one. وَاحِدٌ قَدِيم. He is one. Eternal. لَا أَوَّلَ لَهُ. Without a beginning. Here, awwal means beginning. But awwal doesn't always mean beginning. Awwal could mean the one that there wasn't anyone before. That doesn't mean beginning, though. Because beginning means start. And the one that there wasn't someone before doesn't mean he started. وأنه واحد قديم لا أول له, and that he is one, واحد, قديم, eternal, لا أول له, without a beginning, without a start. And look how Al-Ghazali, he put Al-Wahid and Al-Qadim together here. Al-Wahid for God, meaning the one who has no partner, and Al-Qadim, meaning the one who has no beginning. And if you have some comprehension of the Aqidah and of the chapter of the attributes of God, then you might know that there's something synonymous between Al-Wahid and Al-Qadim. Synonymous means has same meaning. Same meaning? Yani, in a way, from a perspective. Because Wahid has its own mafhum, has its own what it indicates, what's understood from it. Wahid, without a partner. Yani Wahid, not two. Not, there's no second one. There's no counterpart. That's what's understood from the word Wahid. That's what it means. And Qadim means without a beginning, without a start. So that's different thing. Like a partner means one thing, a beginning means something else. Wahid is the one who doesn't have a partner. Qadim is the one who doesn't have a beginning. Okay, but don't you know that there's not something before one? You knew that, right? Didn't you know that there's not something before one? What's before one? It's not before one. Uh, so Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He is Al-Wahid Al-Qadim. He is the Eternal One. The Eternal One is the one who's eternal. La awwala lah. The one who has no beginning. The one who doesn't have anything before him. Because he's Al-Wahid. He doesn't have anything before him. Azaliyun la bidayata lah. Eternal without a beginning for him. So you see, you hear the repetition here. Sometimes I cannot think of another word in English to complement his use of a second word in Arabic to mean the same thing that he just said in the previous sentence with another word. قديم لا أول له أزلي لا بداية له. قديم, eternal, لا أول له, without a start. أزلي, beginningless, لا بداية له, without a beginning. مستمر الوجود, non-stop existence. Non-stop existence. مستمر. So now I know how some people think. They say, wait, non-stop. Doesn't that imply that he started? No, not necessarily. Non-stop. Doesn't that mean he's changing and fluctuating? No, it means doesn't stop. Doesn't stop. Does that mean he started? No, it doesn't mean he started. It means he exists and his existence doesn't end or have an interruption. And then someone might say, I think I'll use a different word. Okay. But that's my attempt for you there. Mustamirul wujud. I didn't want to say continual existence. Because for me, continual means sequence. So I said non-stop, which means does not stop. Negation of stopping. Negation of stopping is not a confirmation of starting. But it is. Negation of stopping is a confirmation of existing. Negation of stopping is a confirmation of existing, was not necessarily a confirmation of starting. So he has beginningless existence, and this existence does not stop. Does not stop. Non-stop means does not stop. But maybe someone understands from non-stop means continual, like there's sequence, but not necessarily. مستمر الوجود لا آخر له, without an end. أبدي, everlasting, لا نهاية له, without an extent. It means without an end. قيوم لا انقطاع له. Qayyum, this is an adjective that's special for God. You can't use it for anyone else. And also, this is a word that does not translate easily into one word. Except for me, I'm speaking personally here, the only way to translate Qayyum into one word for me is to use the word God. Because Qayyum means the one who has no beginning for his existence, the one who manages the creations, the one who does not need anything. So God is one word that I know that can take all of those meanings. قيوم لا انقطاع له, without interruption. He is qayyum without interruption. So if that translation I said works, it would say God without interruption. Means his existence is, like he said up here, mustamirul wujud, without any stoppage for his existence. Da'imun lan sirama lah, everlasting. So what did Al-Ghazali say? He said he is abadi, means everlasting. He said qayyum, one of the tafsirs of qayyum is everlasting. And he said da'im, everlasting. Yani, for him to put qayyum here in the midst of this abadi and da'im, then as if he interprets qayyum to mean everlasting. That's one of its interpretations. أبدي لا نهاية له, قيوم لا انقطاع له, دائم لا انصرام له. So da'im, everlasting, لا انصرام له, without any interruption or stoppage. So insiram means inqita'. Exactly. Insiram means exactly inqita'. So it's like he said the same thing 4 times. He said mustamirul wujud, non-stop existence. La akhira lah, without an end. Abadi, everlasting. La nihayata lah, without an end. Yani, without an extent. Qayyum, everlasting, according to one tafsir. Lan qita'a lah, without stoppage for his existence. Da'im, everlasting. Lan sirama lah, without interruption. لم يزل ولا يزال موصوفا بنعوت الجلال. لم يزل ولا يزال. لم يزل, he never ceased to be. Yani, he is eternal. ولا يزال, and shall not cease to be. Meaning, he is everlasting. Mawsufan, attributed. He never ceased to be and shall not cease to be attributed. Mawsufan binu'util jalal, attributed with the ascriptions of greatness. Mawsuf, attributed. Binu'ut, with descriptions or with attributes. The word nu'ut, so nu'ut means sifat. Nu'ut is the plural of not. Not. Not means sifa. It's singular. Nu'ut is the plural, so it means sifat, attributes. So this is one of the words that the scholars used for Allah, like at-Tahawi. Here we see the metin of Al-Ghazali. He said Allah has nu'ut. At-Tahawi from the Salaf also said Allah has nu'ut, attributes. لم يزل ولا يزال موصوفا بنعوت الجلال. He never ceased to be and shall never cease to be described with the ascriptions of al-jalal, greatness. لا يقضى عليه بالانقضاء والانفصال. And there is no judgment upon him. He is not subject to any judgment or ruling or ordainment. There is no judgment on him to come to an end. There is no judgment on him that he would come to an end. Yani, he is not subject to being made to come to an end. There's no one who could annihilate him. لا يقضى عليه بالانقضاء والانفصال. Nor with separation. بتصرم الآباد وانقراض الآجال. As the... So that's not easy to translate word by word. He said the same thing twice here. As the times, as the ages go on, and as the ages go on, something like that. Yani, he is not subject to being made to come to an end as time goes on and as ages pass. It means, it's a lofty way of saying he is not subject to time. He is everlasting without being subject to time. بل هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن. Rather, he is al-awwal, the unprecedented one. Unprecedented means doesn't have anyone before him. The unprecedented is that which does not have something before it. So it's the first. So first for Allah as a name of Allah, al-awwal, that is. Al-awwal as a name of Allah means the one that there's not someone before him. Doesn't mean the one who has a beginning. Wal-akhir, and he is the one that there is nothing after him. Because if there were something after him, it would mean that his existence comes to an end. Wal-zahir, and the one whose existence is obvious. The one whose existence is obvious, and that's what he told us up here when he said, Al-mutajalli lahum fi dhatihi wa af'alihi bimahasini awsafihi. The one whose existence is obvious. Why? Why do we say his existence is obvious? Because the existence of the creations prove his existence. Wal-batin, means al-batin means the one who cannot be imagined. So those are 4 names of Allah. They all came in one ayah of the Quran. هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم. In fact, this bracket here, or this parenthesis, could actually go all the way up here, because that's where the ayah starts. هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم. In Surah Al-Hadid. He is Al-Awwal, the unprecedented one. Wal-Akhir, the one that nothing exists after him. Wal-Zahir, the one whose existence is obvious. Wal-Batin, and the one who cannot be imagined. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. And he is about everything very, very knowledgeable. Here they put Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 29 for وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. I'm not sure why they did that. Because Surah Al-Hadid. Surah Al-Hadid, ayah 3. هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم. Surah Al-Hadid, ayah 3. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Let's stop there. So that's the introduction to his metin. MashaAllah. And by now you are used to these words, I think, because studying the Aqidah, and that's good for you. Do you have any question I can answer for you?
Sheikh, I have a question.
Yes.
It's in regards to 2 of the names of Allah.
Okay.
The one of the names is the other name. I can't find them right now.
I'm sorry, it's not clear for me.
One of the names the Sheikh was teaching me, he taught me the name. Later on, when we learn another name, it's the one who is the previous name.
Okay.
That didn't make sense.
Well, that would just mean that the 2 names have the same meaning.
That's normal?
Sorry?
That's normal?
Is that normal? Yeah, there's no problem with that. Allah Ta'ala, for example, Allah is Al-Hadi, guide, and He's An-Nur, also means guide. And He's Ar-Rashid, also means guide. An-Nur, it means Al-Hadi.
Barakallahu feekum, Sheikh.
Also, Allah Ta'ala, He's Al-Qadir, and He's Al-Qadir. Allah Ta'ala, He is Ar-Rahim, and He's Ar-Ra'uf. What's the meaning of Ar-Ra'uf? It means Ar-Rahim. Also, Al-Latif can be explained as Ar-Rahim, and other things like that.
Barakallahu feekum, Sheikh.
Ameen Rafiq. It's really actually an important thing there, because when a person wants to learn the names of Allah, he might think every name have a different meaning, which actually is not the case. Sometimes more than one name have the same meaning. Just like also he has an attribute, has more than one name. Like he has an attribute called Al-Qudra. He has an attribute called Al-Quwwa. What's the meaning of Al-Quwwa? It's Al-Qudra. What's the meaning of Al-Mashi'ah? It's Al-Irada. So sometimes a name, more than one name, would have the same meaning. It's true. Would there be a difference? The difference is going to be into looking into the exact letters of each name to find what's the exact, if you want the angle, what's the angle of the name. Like when you say An-Nur, we said An-Nur means Al-Hadi, but why, how? So need to look into the meaning of the word Nur. And Ar-Rashid, what's the meaning of the letters Ra, Sheen, Dal? Or, for example, Allah Ta'ala has attribute, one of his names is Ash-Shaheed. Ash-Shahid, you would translate it as witness. So what does that prove? Proves he's Alim, proves he has knowledge, he's knowledgeable, and proves that he's Al-Basir, one who can see or who sees. Uh, so sometimes, yes, two names have same tafsir, same interpretation, same explanation. Or one of them would be explained by the other. One name would be explained by the other name, but you need to look into, if you want to understand that name on its own, look into the letters that the name is made of, so that you can get the angle, the linguistic angle of the name. That's all I want to say for you. Barakallah.
Sheikh. One question.
Yeah.
When I am taught the names, the shuyukh never do that. They never break down the letters.
So, yeah, that's why I break down the letters. When I used to learn, I still learn. When I used to learn and I didn't know Arabic, so I was taking knowledge. Then as I was learning Arabic more, then I realized that a lot was being lost in the translation. That's why I go through the effort that I go through with the translation, because it's what I would have liked for myself.
Barakallahu feekum, Sheikh. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome. Alhamdulillah. Thanks to Allah. Yes.
The one here at the beginning, the Arsh al-Majid.
Yes.
Both al-Majid and both the owners of the Arsh, or that's, how do you explain it, that thing?
Yeah. Dhil Arsh al-Majid. So, the means the one who has, or the one who possesses. So that's Allah Ta'ala. And Al-Arsh is what's being possessed. So Dhil Arsh, possessor of the Arsh, that's for sure. So Dhu is Allah, and the Arsh is that creation you know. And Dhu is, or the here, is the possessor of this creation. And then there comes a descriptive word, Al-Majid, noble or perfect. So what is it describing? Is it describing the? So that the meaning is Dhil Arsh al-Majid, Dhil Arsh al-Majid, yani the is al-Majid, Dhil Arsh al-Majid, meaning the. So it would mean the perfect possessor or the noble possessor of the Arsh. Or is al-Majid a description of the Arsh itself? So that if you say the Al-Arsh al-Majid, Al-Arsh al-Majid, it means possessor of the noble Arsh. So the Al-Arsh al-Majid, does it mean noble possessor of the Arsh, or it means possessor of the noble Arsh? Depends on which thing you take Majid back to.
Jazakallah khairan.
Ameen wa iyyakum. You said, is it Al-Muta'al or Al-Muta'ali? You can say it either way. Ameen wa fikum. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.